Ravi lived alone on the edge of a small mountain town. His house was old, built by his grandfather, and surrounded by trees and quiet hills. The garage behind the house was his favorite place. It was full of tools, machines, and old car parts. He often spent evenings there fixing radios or repairing old engines just for fun. That night, the rain was falling hard. Thunder rolled over the hills like drums in the distance. Ravi sat near the small heater in his garage, reading a book. It was calm, peaceful, until he heard a soft sound. It wasn't the wind. It wasn't rain. It was something else. Tap, tap. Clink. He looked up. The sound came again. From behind the large metal shelf where he kept old wires and boxes. Ravi stood slowly, careful not to make noise. He picked up a small wrench, not as a weapon, just in case. Step by step, he moved toward the shelf. His heart beat faster, but his mind stayed calm. He had dealt with wild animals before. Maybe a raccoon or a cat had come in. He pulled the shelf aside, and then he saw her. At first, he thought it was just a person. A woman, maybe. But then he saw the glow. Her skin shimmered faintly, like moonlight on water. Her hair was long and silver blue, like threads of light. She wore a strange, tight suit made of soft material that looked damaged and torn at the shoulder. Her hands were shaking. One eye was swollen, and her arm had a deep burn. She looked afraid. Her body was curled up like a frightened animal. Ravi froze. She looked at him. Her eyes were large, violet in color, and full of pain. "Please," she said. Her voice was soft, metallic, and broken. "Don't call anyone," Ravi blinked. He did not move closer, but he lowered the wrench and held out his hand slowly. "I won't," he said calmly. "You're safe here. Are you hurt?" The woman nodded weakly. She tried to sit up, but fell back down. Ravi glanced at the door. No one else was there. He looked back at her. "I'm Ravi," he said gently. "This is my place. What's your name?" She took a breath. "Mira." "Okay, Mira, you need help. Can I bring something for your wounds?" Mira hesitated, then nodded again. Ravi ran into the house and came back with a first aid kit, a blanket, and a thermos of warm tea. He didn't ask questions right away. He knelt down and opened the kit. "May I?" he asked. Mira let him clean the burn on her arm. The wound wasn't bleeding like a normal human cut. It shimmered, glowing faintly before fading under the bandage. Her skin felt warm, not hot. She winced once, but didn't cry out. Ravi offered her the blanket. She looked at it like it was a gift from another world. "You're not from here, are you?" he asked quietly. Mira looked up, eyes full of fear. "No, I crashed not far. They're looking for me." "Who?" "Hunters." Ravi didn't understand, but he didn't push. Instead, he poured her some tea. Mira held the cup in both hands. Like it was something sacred. "You can stay here tonight," Ravi said. "No one comes here. You'll be safe." Mira blinked, surprised. "Why are you helping me?" Ravi thought for a moment. "Because you need help. That's enough reason." Mira didn't reply, but her shoulders relaxed just a little. Hours passed. The rain kept falling outside, but inside the garage, it was quiet. Mira lay on an old mattress Ravi had pulled from the back room. He gave her one of his shirts, too big for her small frame, but better than the torn suit she wore. Ravi sat at his workbench, pretending to read again. But his eyes kept looking back at her. Who was she? Where did she come from? Why was she hiding? And more importantly, what had she meant by hunters? Mira's eyes stayed half open. She didn't sleep deeply. Her body stayed alert, even in rest. Like she was trained to run. Suddenly, her hand twitched. A small device slipped from under her belt. Ravi saw it glow briefly before Mira grabbed it and tucked it back under the blanket. Ravi didn't ask. He just said, "You're not the first one to hide in this garage. But you are the first not from Earth." That made Mira smile, just a little. Later, as the storm softened, Ravi made soup and offered her a bowl. Mira had never seen food like this before. She sniffed it carefully, then took a small bite. Her face lit up. "It's warm," she said softly. Ravi chuckled. "That's how soup works," Mira nodded. "It's kind." He looked at her with curiosity. "Soup is kind?" "No," she said, placing her hand on her chest. "You are." That night, Ravi locked the garage and stayed awake longer than usual. Mira slept more deeply now. Her breathing was softer. She looked less like a stranger, more like someone lost and tired. He didn't know what the next day would bring. He didn't know who she was running from, why she was here, but he did know one thing. She needed help, and he was going to help her no matter what. The morning came with soft sunlight and birdsong. Rainwater still dripped from the roof, and fog curled along the edges of the hills. Ravi stood quietly at the garage door, watching the mist roll through the trees. His mind wasn't on the weather. It was on the visitor sleeping in the corner of his garage. Mira. He glanced back. She was curled under the old blanket, breathing slow and steady. The swelling near her eye had gone down, and the bandages on her arm stayed in place. Her silver-blue hair glowed faintly in the morning light. She didn't look dangerous. She looked lost. Ravi made some tea and walked over, careful not to wake her. But Mira's eyes opened before he even reached her. "You sleep like a cat." Ravi joked softly. "I was trained to," she replied, sitting up slowly. "We don't sleep deeply when we're in danger." "You're not in danger here," he reminded her gently. "Not with me." Mira didn't answer right away, but she accepted the tea. They sat in silence for a while, the steam rising between them. Finally, Ravi asked, "Are you hungry?" "A little," she said. He brought her a bowl of rice with lentils and a soft piece of flatbread. Mira studied it like it was art. Then slowly she took a bite. Her face relaxed. "This is peaceful," she whispered. Ravi smiled. "It's breakfast." "No," Mira said. "This place, the quiet, the food, you, all of it." Later that day, Ravi showed Mira around the garage. She walked slowly, examining everything with wide eyes. The shelves, the tools, the wires, even the posters of old spaceships he had on the walls. "You like stars?" she asked, pointing to one of the posters. "I always did," Ravi replied. "Never thought I'd meet someone from out there." She turned to him, her eyes serious. "Most humans wouldn't react this way. Why aren't you afraid of me?" Ravi thought for a moment. "You don't look like someone I should fear." And fear closes doors. Curiosity opens them. Mira tilted her head, thinking, "You speak with simple words, but they mean much." "Old habit," Ravi said with a small grin. "I fix machines, not write poetry." Mira smiled too. It was small but real. They spent the afternoon talking. Mira's translator device still struggled sometimes, but Ravi helped her adjust it using some old circuit boards. Together, they fixed the small machine while Mira explained pieces of her story. "I'm from a planet called Lithari," she said slowly. "Our people don't travel much, but I was part of a peace group. We wanted to explore and learn." "So why are you being hunted?" Ravi asked gently. "We were attacked by a group that believes in isolation. They think any contact with other life will destroy our culture. My ship was damaged. I crashed here, alone." Ravi nodded, listening carefully. "You're not alone now," he said. As evening came, Mira sat on the garage floor with an old notebook in her lap. She had found it among Ravi's old sketchbooks. He watched as she drew star patterns from memory, strange constellations he had never seen. "These are from your sky?" he asked. "Yes," she said. "I want to remember. If I forget, it's like losing home again." Ravi pulled out his old telescope and set it up outside the garage. The rain had cleared, and the sky was slowly opening, stars blinking through. "Come," he said. Mira followed. When she looked through the telescope, she gasped. So many stars, she whispered. So different, so beautiful. Ravi stood beside her. We may be far apart, but we all look at the same kind of light. Mira looked at him. Your people could be great among the stars, Ravi chuckled. We're still learning how to be great with each other down here. She didn't laugh. That's where it begins. Later, Mira sat on the mattress again, her blanket pulled around her shoulders. Ravi handed her a small battery-powered lamp. I'll leave this on for you, he said. If you need anything, just knock on the door. She looked up. You trust me? Yes. She held the lamp tightly. That's rare. Ravi shrugged. You came to me in pain, not power. That says enough. Mira was silent for a moment. Then, she pulled something from her jacket. It looked like a small silver cube, smooth and warm. This is a memory core, she said, from my ship. It holds my records, logs, language, everything I know. She handed it to Ravi. He hesitated. You're giving this to me? I trust you too, she said. He held the cube carefully. Thank you. That night, Ravi sat in his room, the silver cube resting on the table beside him. He turned it in his hands, wondering how much knowledge it held. A whole alien culture, maybe. A history he could never have imagined. But what mattered more than the cube was the person who gave it to him. Mira wasn't just a visitor from the stars. She was someone trying to survive. Someone carrying memories of a faraway place. Someone whose voice shook when she said home. And somehow she had ended up in his garage. As Ravi looked out the window at the stars, he felt something strange and quiet settle in his chest. This was not just about helping someone anymore. This was the beginning of something much bigger. The third morning was cold and quiet. Ravi stepped into the garage holding 2 cups of tea. Mira was already awake, sitting near the small heater. She was holding something close to her chest, wrapped in a gray cloth. Ravi noticed it immediately. He handed her a cup. You're awake early. I didn't sleep much, she said softly. He pointed at the object in her hands. What's that? Mira looked down, then slowly unwrapped the cloth. Ravi's eyes widened. Inside was a small, clear capsule. It was about the size of a coconut, smooth and oval-shaped, with thin glowing lines running across its surface. Inside, something pulsed softly. It looked like a soft light, almost alive. Warm colors moved within, like a sleeping spark. It's alive, he whispered. Mira nodded. Yes, it's a child. Ravi stepped back, confused. Your child? She shook her head. Not in the way you think. I did not create it. I was chosen to carry it. He stared at her, waiting for her to explain. Mira sighed and placed the capsule carefully on a folded towel. In my world, when a great danger threatens our kind, we do not try to save everyone. That is impossible. Instead, we choose to protect what we must not lose. She placed her hand gently over the capsule. This child carries the knowledge, the culture, and the voice of my people. It was formed in a lab, created from the best parts of us. It is not just a baby, it is memory. It is future, and now. It is mine to protect. Ravi knelt beside her. Then why is it glowing like that? Because it is bonding with me, she said, her voice a little shaky. It wasn't supposed to. I was only a carrier. But when my ship crashed, the systems were damaged. The capsule began the bonding cycle. What does that mean? Ravi asked. It means, Mira said slowly, it's becoming part of me. It sees me as its mother now. It is growing, faster than expected. Ravi's eyes widened. Is that dangerous for you? I don't know, she admitted. This has never happened before. They spent the rest of the morning examining the capsule together. Ravi used a soft flashlight to check for cracks, but the shell was strong, like smooth crystal. The glowing center reacted to touch. When Ravi's hand brushed it, The light inside swirled, almost playfully. "It likes you," Mira said quietly. "I don't even know what I'm doing," Ravi said with a small laugh. "That makes two of us." By afternoon, Mira grew tired. She lay on the mattress again, holding the capsule close to her stomach. Ravi brought her soup and water, checking on her often. Her face looked paler than before. Her energy was fading. "It's taking from me," she explained. "My strength, my warmth. Can we stop it?" Ravi asked. She shook her head. "No, but maybe we can slow it down." Ravi stood up and walked toward his shelves. He remembered his solar battery project, the one he never finished. He grabbed the pieces and began working fast. Hours passed as he adjusted wires, polished panels, and tested connections. Mira watched him silently, her eyes heavy but full of trust. Finally, he connected a soft pad to the capsule. The energy shifted. The capsule glowed more evenly now, not just feeding from Myra. She sighed in relief. "You built this for me?" "For the child," Ravi said. "But yes, for you too." That night, the garage felt different, warmer, softer. Mira spoke more about her people. She told Ravi how her planet had oceans the color of deep blue fire, and sky cities floating on wind currents. She described songs that could be sung without sound, and gardens that glowed in the dark. Ravi listened like a child hearing bedtime stories. "You really believe this child is your future?" he asked. "Yes," Mira replied, "even if I don't survive." "The child will." "Don't say that," Ravi said quickly. "You'll survive." She looked at him with tired eyes. "You don't know that." "Then I'll make sure of it," he said simply. Later, as Mira slept, Ravi stayed awake. He watched the capsule. It pulsed in rhythm now, like a heartbeat. Not fast, not slow, just steady. He reached out and touched it again. For a second, he felt warmth pass through his fingers. Not heat, something else. Something emotional. A feeling. Curiosity. Peace. And something that felt like recognition. The capsule responded to his touch like it knew him. Like it trusted him, too. He whispered, "Are you listening to us?" The light swirled once. Then stilled. Ravi sat back, a strange calm filling him. Something had changed. This wasn't just about hiding an alien anymore. This wasn't just about helping someone survive. This was a life, a new life. And now, he was part of it. The stars blinked quietly above the hills. Inside the garage, the alien mother and the glowing capsule rested, watched over by a human man, who once just wanted to fix broken things. Now, he was fixing something much more important, something that could change everything. 2 more days passed quietly. Mira grew a little stronger each morning, though she still needed rest. The capsule continued to glow gently and stayed close to her side, almost like it could sense her thoughts. The solar energy from Ravi's setup helped a lot. The child no longer drained Mira's strength as fast. Ravi had started calling the capsule the Star Egg. Mira didn't correct him. She liked the way he said it, with care, not fear. But peace never lasted long. It was early evening. The sun had started to fall behind the hills. Ravi was in the kitchen, making flatbread. Mira rested in the garage, quietly humming a soft tune from her world. The capsule pulsed slowly in her lap. Suddenly, there was a knock at the front door. Not just one. 3 short knocks. A pause. Then 2 more. Ravi froze. He wasn't expecting anyone. No one visited him this late. He turned off the stove and wiped his hands. The knocks came again, louder this time. He opened the door just a little. 2 men stood outside. They wore black jackets, plain boots, and serious faces. One was tall and thin, the other short and heavy. They didn't smile. "Are you Mr. Ravi?" The taller man asked. "Depends on who's asking," Ravi replied, keeping his voice calm. "We're from the Earth Communication and Research Office," the man said, showing a badge that looked too clean. We're investigating strange signals picked up in this area. What kind of signals? Ravi asked, trying to sound confused. Radio bursts, energy spikes, things that don't come from nature. The shorter man leaned forward. We believe a crash happened not far from here. Ravi's heart beat faster. He kept his face still. I haven't seen anything, he said simply. The tall man tilted his head. May we come inside? Just for a quick check. I'm not comfortable with that, Ravi said. We understand, the shorter man said quickly. Still, we'll be nearby in case anything comes to mind. They gave him a card, no address, just a number, and walked away. Disappearing behind a parked black van. Ravi closed the door, locked it, then ran straight to the garage. Mira was already standing, holding the capsule close to her chest. They're not human, she said before he could speak. I thought so, Ravi replied. I felt it, she continued. Their thoughts, cold, covered, like smoke. What do we do? Ravi asked. Mira looked around the garage. We can't stay. They'll come back. Next time they won't knock. Ravi nodded. I'll get the van ready. We leave tonight. They packed quickly. Ravi grabbed the solar kit, tools, food, and blankets. Mira wrapped the capsule carefully in a warm scarf and held it like a sleeping infant. Though she moved slowly, her steps were steady. By nightfall, they were inside the old blue van Ravi had fixed last winter. It wasn't fancy, but it worked. The engine hummed gently as they pulled onto the dark road. Mira looked back once. The garage disappeared into shadows. That place saved me, she said. You saved yourself, Ravi replied. I just opened the door. They drove into the mountains. Ravi took a side road that led toward an old observatory. It hadn't been used in years, but he had visited it as a boy. It was high, hidden, and had a broken satellite dish that might help Mira send a signal. Mira rested her head against the window. The capsule rested in her lap. The light inside it was brighter now, changing from soft gold to a warm sky blue. It's growing faster, she whispered. Is that good? I don't know. It feels ready, but also scared. Ravi kept his eyes on the road. We'll find a safe place soon. They stopped once near a stream. Mira needed air. Ravi helped her out of the van, and they sat on a fallen tree. The stars above were clear, stretching across the sky like silver dust. Mira pointed up. That's where I came from, she said. Behind that belt of stars, a system with 3 suns. We called it Ivara. Do you want to go back? Ravi asked. I want the child to go back, Mira replied. Even if I can't. Ravi turned to her. You're not going to give up, right? She smiled weakly. No, not yet. Back in the van, the capsule began to pulse faster, not bright. Just faster. Ravi touched it gently. The moment he did, a soft voice echoed in his mind. Not words, just feelings. Warmth, curiosity, a question. Did you hear that? He asked. Mira nodded. It's reaching out. To us? Yes, she whispered. It knows we're protecting it. Ravi stared at the glowing shape inside the capsule. It had changed. There was now a small form, like a curled body. Not human, not alien, something in between. Something new. They reached the observatory just before midnight. The building was still standing, though old. Trees surrounded it, and vines covered parts of the walls. But it had power. Ravi managed to connect the solar kit to a small terminal inside. Mira placed the capsule on a soft cloth near the controls. We send the signal tomorrow, Ravi said. For now we rest. Mira looked around, then back at him. Thank you, Ravi, he shrugged. We're in this together, she smiled. No, you chose to stay. That makes all the difference. Outside, the forest was silent. Inside, under a dusty dome of broken stars, 2 strangers guarded a child from 2 worlds, one from the sky, and one from Earth. They didn't know what was coming next, but they knew they were no longer alone. The observatory was old and forgotten, but it still had strong walls and a tall dome above. Dust covered everything inside, but Ravi didn't care. For now, it was safe. He spread out the blankets in one corner of the room. Mira sat near the capsule, her back resting against the wall. The glow from the capsule filled the room with soft blue light, calm and steady like a heartbeat. "It feels quiet here," Mira said softly. "No one will find us here," Ravi replied. "Not for now." Early in the morning, Ravi searched the building and found a rusty water pump still working. He filled a kettle, boiled water, and made tea. He also opened a few cans of food he had brought from the garage. It wasn't much, but it was enough. Mira ate slowly, keeping her eyes on the capsule. "It moved again last night," she said. "It stretched. I could feel it through the light." "Is it ready to come out?" Ravi asked carefully. "Not yet," she answered. "But soon." That day, Ravi worked on the observatory's broken satellite dish. The controls were old, but he had fixed worse. He cleaned the wires, changed a few circuits, and reconnected the solar panels. Mira joined him for a while. Watching him work, "You're very patient," she said. "I have to be," Ravi replied with a smile. "Machines don't rush. They wait." Mira looked at the sky through the open dome. "If I send a signal now, my people might hear it. Do you think they'll come?" He asked. "They might, if they're still safe." She looked at him. "But if the wrong ones hear it, they'll come too." Ravi nodded. "Then we choose the right time." Later that evening, Mira grew tired again. She sat close to the capsule, breathing slowly. Ravi brought her a jacket to use as a pillow and placed a lamp beside her. The capsule's light flickered a little. Ravi sat beside it and placed his hand gently on its surface. Just like before, he felt something inside his mind, emotions, soft and quiet. This time the feelings were different. Fear, loneliness, then warmth. He spoke softly. "You're not alone." The light inside the capsule pulsed once, as if answering him. That night, Ravi dreamed. He saw stars, millions of them, spinning across the sky like a river of light. In the middle of them stood the capsule, floating in silence. Then a voice, clear and kind, echoed in his dream. "Home is not always where you are born." He woke up slowly, the words still in his mind. Myra was already awake, her hands resting gently on the capsule. Her eyes looked calm, even peaceful. "It spoke to you," she said without turning. Ravi was surprised. "You felt that?" "Yes. It speaks in dreams, through memories." Ravi sat beside her. "It's not just a child, is it?" Mira smiled a little. "No, it's something more. It learns quickly, it feels deeply. Will it survive, if we don't? It must." They spent the next day preparing to send the signal. Ravi finished repairing the communication system. Mira recorded a short message in her language, then translated it into English using her translator device. "We only send it once," she said. "No repeats, no tracking." The message was simple. "This is Mira of Lithari. I carry the hope. Seed, we are safe for now. Request rescue from trusted command. Earth location encoded. Do not respond on open channels." She looked at Ravi. "If they hear it, they'll come." "And if the others hear it?" he asked. "We run again," she said, her voice firm. Ravi nodded. "Then let's send it. Together." They activated the system. The dish outside turned slowly, aiming toward the stars. A soft hum filled the room. Then silence. The message was sent. Now, they could only wait. That night, the capsule changed again. Its glow grew stronger, and the shape inside became clearer. It now looked like a small form, curled like a baby in sleep. Not human. Not alien. Something between. Mira placed her hand on her stomach and closed her eyes. "It's almost time," she whispered. "I can feel it." "Are you afraid?" Ravi asked. She nodded slowly. "Yes, but I also feel ready." Ravi looked at her. Whatever happens, I'm here. She smiled, weak but true. You always say that. Because I mean it. Before dawn, the light from the capsule grew brighter. It lit the entire room. Soft and blue like moonlight. Mira stood slowly, holding it in her arms. She swayed gently, like a mother rocking her child. Ravi stood nearby, unsure of what to do, but ready to help. Suddenly, the light inside the capsule pulsed. Once. Twice. Then stayed bright. Mira gasped, her body glowing faintly as well. She dropped to her knees, but not in pain. Her eyes were wide with wonder. It's starting, she whispered. The awakening. Ravi knelt beside her. What do you need? Just stay, she said. And so he stayed beside her, beside the child, under the quiet stars. The stars above the observatory glowed like silver dust scattered across the sky. Inside the old building, silence wrapped around Ravi and Mira like a warm blanket. But something inside the capsule had changed. The light was no longer soft and sleepy. It was alive. It was waking. Mira knelt on the stone floor, holding the capsule in both hands. Her body trembled not with fear, but with emotion. Her silver blue hair glowed gently in the dark, matching the rhythm of the pulsing light. Ravi stayed close, watching with wide eyes. He had never seen anything like this, not in books, not in stories, not even in dreams. Mira, he said softly, what's happening? Mira looked up, tears in her eyes, but not sad tears. It's beginning to breathe on its own, she said. It's ready to leave the capsule. Ravi's heart raced. Is that safe? It has to be. There's no turning back now. She gently placed the capsule on a soft cloth. The glow grew stronger, then shifted colors, blue to white, white to gold, and then to a pale green. The form inside moved slowly, like it was stretching for the first time. A soft hum filled the room. It wasn't coming from the machines. It was coming from the capsule itself. It's singing, Mira whispered. Ravi tilted his head. Singing? It's speaking in the only way it knows, through sound and light. It's telling us it's not afraid. They watched as a thin crack appeared across the top of the capsule. The shell didn't break like glass. It opened like a flower. Each petal peeling back in silence. Inside was the child. Small. Glowing. And unlike anything Ravi had ever seen. It had a body, but not exactly like a human baby. Its skin was soft and pale with a faint shimmer. Tiny arms and legs curled gently. Its eyes opened large, bright, and filled with light. When it looked at Mira, she gasped. I feel it, she whispered. It knows me. Ravi watched in amazement. As the child reached out one hand, not with fear, but with trust, Mira lifted the child into her arms. The glow didn't stop. It surrounded them both, a soft green light that filled the observatory like a sunrise. For a long moment, there were no words. Just peace. Later, they wrapped the child in a soft towel. It no longer glowed as brightly. It was resting. Mira held it gently, like it was the most precious thing in the world. Ravi made a small bed from his jacket and placed it beside her. Is it hungry? He asked. It doesn't need food the way humans do, Mira said. It feeds on warmth, touch, safety. It grows through connection. Ravi touched the child's tiny hand. The fingers curled around his. It's warm, he said, surprised. It knows you, Mira said. You helped shape its heart. Ravi looked at the child again. It was small, but something about it felt powerful, not in a scary way, but in a quiet, hopeful way. Like a seed ready to grow into something great. Just before sunrise, Mira grew quiet. She sat back, eyes half closed, still holding the child. You need sleep, Ravi said. I will, she replied. But first, I need to tell you something. Ravi nodded. I wasn't the only one sent here, she said. There were others, but I don't know if they survived the crash. Ravi sat beside her. You think they might still be out there? Maybe, or maybe, someone found them first. Ravi didn't like the sound of that. We should move again, he said. Mira nodded. Not yet, but soon. We wait one more night, then we go. Ravi looked down at the sleeping child. Where will we go? I have coordinates, she said. A hidden base. If we reach it, I can send a stronger signal to my people. Ravi nodded again. Then we prepare. That day, while Mira rested with the child, Ravi packed supplies. He made space in the van and fixed a small heater to keep them warm on the road. He also placed a small box near the child inside it, the glowing memory core Mira had given him. Earlier, the child will need it someday, she said. It holds more than data, it holds guidance. Ravi looked at the child, still sleeping peacefully. Will it remember this? Yes, she said. Not in pictures, but in feelings. The safety, the love. He smiled. Then it will remember you very well. As night fell again, clouds covered the stars. The air turned cold, and still Mira sat with the child wrapped close to her chest. She looked stronger, brighter. The child's name is Orlan. She said suddenly. Ravi repeated it. Orlan. It means born of light and silence, he nodded. It fits. They didn't talk much after that. They just sat together, side by side, watching over the child. And though the night outside was dark, inside the observatory, something glowed brighter than ever. Not from machines, not from stars, but from hope. The morning sun pushed through the cracks of the old observatory's dome, painting the room with soft gold light. Mira gently held Orlan, the child born of light and silence, cradled close to her heart. Ravi stood nearby, packing the last of their supplies carefully into the van. Today was the day they would leave. Outside, the world seemed calm, but inside, a quiet tension hummed in the air. They both knew the journey ahead would not be easy. Yet, there was a new hope shining. Brighter than any fear, Ravi glanced at Mira. Are you ready? She nodded. For the first time in a long time, yes. Orlan stirred in her arms, small fingers curling around her thumb. The child's soft glow filled the room like a tiny star. Do you think your people will come? Ravi asked softly. Mira smiled faintly. I believe they will. This message is more than words. It is hope, a promise. Ravi took a deep breath. Then let's not waste any more time. They climbed into the van, Orlan resting quietly between them on a soft pillow. The engine rumbled to life, and the old vehicle rolled onto the dusty mountain road. The air was fresh, scented with pine and earth. The sky stretched wide and blue above them, endless and full of possibilities. Mira looked out the window. When we reach the base, I will send another message, a stronger one. And what if the wrong people hear it? Ravi asked. Mira's eyes grew serious. Then we run again. But I will protect Orlan, no matter what. Ravi nodded. I'll be with you. The drive was long and winding. The van creaked and bumped over rocks and dirt paths. Sometimes Mira would hum a soft tune, a song from her world. Ravi found himself humming along, his voice low and steady. Orlan stirred occasionally, the glow within pulsing softly like a heartbeat. It seemed to respond to the song, brightening and dimming with the rhythm. At one point, the child reached out a tiny hand and touched Mira's cheek. She smiled, tears in her eyes. It's growing, she whispered. Ravi watched, amazed. Faster than anyone expected. As night fell, they stopped beside a quiet river. The stars blinked above, silver and clear. They sat outside the van, wrapped in blankets, sharing a simple meal. Mira looked at Ravi. Thank you for everything. For saving me. For saving Orlan. Ravi shook his head. You saved yourself. I just opened the door. She laughed softly. You opened a whole new world. They sat in silence, listening to the river's gentle flow. The next morning, they reached a hidden valley. It was surrounded by tall trees and covered in soft moss. At the center stood a small building, half covered by vines and leaves. This was the base Mira had spoken of. She stepped out of the van carefully, holding Aurelin close. The building's door creaked open, and a warm light spilled out. A figure appeared, a tall woman with calm eyes and silver hair like Mira's. She smiled when she saw them. "Mira," she said, voice gentle but strong. "We feared you lost." Mira's eyes filled with tears. "I am here, and I bring hope." The woman stepped forward and looked at Aurelin. "The child of light and silence. You have done well." Inside the base, Ravi was introduced to others. They were a small group, survivors like Mira, protecting what remained of their world and culture. They welcomed Mira and Aurelin with kindness and care. The child's glow lit the room, filling it with warmth and peace. Ravi felt a strange happiness. Though this was not his world, he had found a place here among people brave enough to protect hope. Later, Mira spoke with the leader. "We will send the signal," she said. "Not just to find safety, but to rebuild." The leader nodded. "And you will stay with us to teach." Mira smiled softly. "Yes, but I will never forget where I came from." She looked at Ravi. "Thank you for everything. You changed my life." Ravi smiled back. "And you changed mine." Days passed, and life began to feel lighter. Aurelin grew stronger each day, its glow steady and bright. It learned from Mira and the others, but also from Ravi, who was patient and kind. One evening, as they sat outside watching stars, Mira looked at Ravi. "This child," she said, "is not just our future. It is a bridge between worlds." Ravi nodded. "And between hearts." They smiled at each other, knowing the road ahead would be long. But together, they were ready. Under the endless sky, two worlds had met. An alien mother, a human protector, and a child born of light. Their story was just beginning.